We've always criticized the thin and light mentality of most smartphones today because feel in the hand isn't everything. Compromises in battery life and expandable storage are enough to frustrate anyone, no matter how beautiful the phone is. Now, when a company figures out a way to solve most of these basic needs under a thin and light chassis, it deserves an extensive look. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocketnow, here with our full review of the Oppo R7. Have you ever heard the phrase, "if the shoe fits"? Many companies struggle to strike the right balance with this, mainly because my needs are different to everybody else's. For example, I value an elegant smartphone that can last a full day on a charge, gives me expandability options, and takes good pictures. The Oppo R7 is by no means the perfect phone, but it does do a lot of things right. Elegance is definitely one of them, with its metallic chassis and slim profile. The slight curves on the back, chamfered edges on the sides, and 2.5D glass at the front give it a very pleasant feel, both in your hand and inside the pocket. The look and feel extends to the clicky hardware keys on the sides, but falls short with the unlit capacitive keys that are too easy to press accidentally at times. It's a hair thicker than its predecessor at 6.3mm, but at the benefit of the return of the 3.5mm headphone jack. Most of the elegance comes with its 5-inch 1080p AMOLED display, which provides great viewing angles and color saturation. It's bright enough to provide decent visibility in direct sunlight and even offers eye protection modes for those of you that prefer warmer colors. Internals make this sound like more of an average user phone though, with its 1.5GHz Snapdragon 615, 3GB of RAM, and 16GB of expandable storage. Missing are essentials like NFC for reasons I don't understand, and this particular unit lacks US LTE bands, even though the US variant that's on sale does include them. Now, the cool tricks under the hood are anything but average, particularly with its expandability option, since you can swap this microSD card for a dual SIM card, which is definitely a benefit. And another cool trick is the fact that the 2320 mAh battery can charge fully in under 30 minutes through Oppo's VOOC Rapid Charger. The rest of the cool tricks come with its software, which I'll admit has been a pleasant surprise. I've always been a ColorOS detractor because of its skeuomorphic user interface and laggy operation, but version 2.1 improves things dramatically. It still lacks the app tray like before, and it still also includes an extensive list of UI customizations. The changes are mainly in the combination of a toned-down icon pack and the 3GB of RAM, which allow it to handle transitions smoothly and multitask without stutter. One of my favorite features is how it handles notifications, even if it still runs on KitKat. As opposed to Lollipop, here you can control which notifications you want on the lock screen and on the ticker, saving you a lot of annoyances. The added applications are mostly useful than bloat, with things like a backup assistant for your microSD card, a voice recorder, and even an encryption service that allows you to lock applications with a code in a very reliable way. Other cool tricks included are being able to launch the camera with a gesture, or turning the phone on and off with a double tap on the display or on the home button. Honestly, if it wasn't for Oppo's horrible widgets, this is probably one of my favorite Android experiences to date, which says a lot. The best way to describe using this phone over the last few weeks is with the word balanced. Graphics-intensive games do work over the Snapdragon 615, but it does overheat after a few minutes, meaning yes, you can play with it, but it's not what it was designed for. Battery life isn't a compromise though. You'll notice that it'll drop from 100% to 80 in the first hour of use, but it levels out after that and manages to give you a full day of moderate to heavy use on a full charge. And if you overdid it, VOOC Rapid Charging will take you to 50% in under 15 minutes, something which competitors haven't been able to beat yet. Phone calls are also surprisingly good, with one of the loudest earpieces that I've tested, and a very loud back-mounted speaker as well. Colors also praise the sound quality, and I didn't even notice it heating after 30-minute phone calls, which was great. Sadly, we weren't able to test the LTE speeds on our review unit here, but it does provide decent HSPA Plus speeds. The camera combo is also good in my opinion, even for 2015 standards. Oppo includes the same bevy of shooting modes that we saw with the Oppo M3, but I do notice that the 13-megapixel ISOCELL shooter provides better color saturation, and it also provides better light exposure when compared to its predecessor. Now, this is no LG G4 by any means, mainly because of the f2.2 aperture on the lens, but it does give the iPhone 6 camera a run for its money. The 8-megapixel wide-angle selfie camera is also a pleasant addition that provides good enough photos, but I'd recommend that you stay away from the beautifying modes. Overall, I guess the best way to describe the Oppo R7 is as one of the most balanced experiences I've ever personally had with Android. It sports a great design without compromise, internals that are not too shabby, a software experience that actually fixes some of the annoyances of Android, its camera combo is above average, and its battery performance is good enough for most of us. I guess this phone would be perfect for the business user out there that is in search of a reliable experience, or the average user that doesn't want an overbearing experience. It definitely is not something that I would recommend to the most demanding of power users, but at $399 unlocked, it's really hard for this shoe not to fit, especially because you're getting a $250 discount when compared to the nearest flagship. That does it for our full review of the Oppo R7, folks, but there is a lot more where that came from, so make sure you follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, and you can follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera, or on Instagram at Jaime Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you on the next video.